My favorite fruit is green apple, so this video is kind of perfect. Hi guys, I'm Oksana and welcome back to my channel. And this week I'm gonna be cooking a bunch of apple recipes for you guys. And the reason why is because I have a bunch of apples I have to use, because I ordered at Too Good To Go where I got literally 5 kilos of apples. In order for them to not go bad, we're gonna make a bunch of apple recipes. And also because you guys ask for apple recipes, I hope this video inspires you to make some delicious apple recipes. They're also perfect for fall, they're so cozy, and all of these recipes are easy, quick, and student friendly. And of course, they're very customizable. If you make any of the recipes, please tag me on my Instagram so I can see your amazing creations. But I've talked too much already. We want to see the recipes, so let's get into the video.
So let's start with the first recipe, which is a savory apple stew. For this, you're gonna need some kind of beans. I only had lupine beans, which are very high in protein actually, so this meal overall is a very high protein meal. Anyways, what you're gonna first do is chop your garlic, but before you put it in the pan like I did, you should prep your vegetables. That was my mistake. But I'm telling you guys that you don't have to do the same mistake I did. But the vegetables you're gonna prep are some carrots and of course apples. This video after all is literally about apples, but actually it's so satisfying to cut apples. Is it just me? Also, feel free to snack on some of the apples because they fly everywhere. I did a mixture of green and red again because I have like 5 kilos of apples. But if you can, I would recommend to use red apples, which tend to be softer if you want less of a crunch. I like green apples and a crunch, so I added a bit of both. But then after you cut your apples, you are also going to cut some aubergine. And then I cut up some tofu as well because I had it left over. Plus it adds extra protein. But as soon as you finish prepping, then you heat the pan with the garlic and saute it for a bit, and then add the tofu, then the beans, and then the vegetables, and at the end you're gonna add the apple and mix that bad boy up. Let it simmer for a bit and then add your spices. I added some garlic as well as some oregano and some nutritional yeast. Actually a lot of nutritional yeast, it just makes the whole thing so cheesy. And then some paprika for color. Also guys, another tip, make sure to put some apples aside to add at the end so you can have a bit more crunchy apple before you add the spinach. Then let it simmer for a bit on low and enjoy. These approximately makes 2 portions, but of course eat as much as you want. Portions are non-existent in this household, but you can save it like I did. And then actually the next day I decided to have it with some more nutritional yeast, and then I just heat it up in the microwave. And then I decided to have it with a slice of toast where I put some oregano, some olive oil, some garlic powder and some pepper. Toasted that for a bit, and guys, such a delicious lunch. Of course you can top it off with more nutritional yeast because there's never enough nutritional yeast. And for some freshness, I added some cucumber. And guys, this recipe you need to try out right now, especially after you've made it. It's so warm, and with the bread, the crunch, oh, it's just so good. But if you recreate it, remember to tag me on the Instagram so I can see it. But anyways, let's move on to the next recipe. This recipe is the other savory recipe in this video. And like for the first one, you're gonna chop that garlic girl. And then I put it in the pan, but this time I didn't heat the pan, so I actually did something right this time. But this recipe is a sauce that you could save and then use for pasta or mix it with some rice to make some sort of curry. vegetables I chose were mushrooms, because I had also a lot of mushrooms, and because I love mushrooms. We need to put the mushrooms. But apart from the mushroom, of course you can add other vegetables. But then you're gonna chop some tomatoes, because that's the other important ingredient in this recipe, not only the apple this time. And then as soon as you're done, you're gonna put some soya sauce with the garlic and saute. Then when that is done, then you put the tomatoes so they are allowed to cook, and let them simmer for a bit while you cut the apples. Actually, something that would make different from this recipe would be to roast the tomatoes for a bit in the oven. If you can at least, I think that would make it more delicious and actually give more of a tomatoey flavor, while the apple will just give some sweetness and tartness depending on the apple you decide to use. But once the tomato is ready, you're gonna add your apples and then let them also simmer for a bit. Then after 5 minutes, you're gonna add your spices, in this case paprika. I also added salt, oregano of course. And after 10 minutes, we're gonna make this a sauce. And make sure to use a hand blender that actually works. Second time's the charm, I guess. But once the sauce is a bit blended, not too much, if you want some texture, then add your mushrooms so they can cook with the sauce. And then also add other vegetables if you want to here. And then after they have simmered together for a bit, add some soya yogurt. I put Greek style because that's thicker, and then I also added some nutritional yeast to make it extra cheesy. Then allow to simmer for a bit and you are done. This is also for 3 portions, I think. I don't know, you could save it and use it as you like. So I did 2 things with this sauce. The first thing I did was a pasta dish. So choose your pasta, and while that's boiling, cut your vegetables. In this case I chose broccolini, and then add your protein, which is tempeh in my case. Drain the pasta and then save some of the pasta water so you can use it to saute your proteins and your vegetables together, or at least that's what I did. Then I added some spices of course, and once that was done, kind of almost cooking, I added the sauce with some extra pasta water and then cooked it for a bit. Added my protein and vegetable mix. I also added some of the beans because I had some beans leftovers. Yeah, we're all about using leftovers here, people. We love them. But once that was cooking, I added the pasta almost at the end. And then, of course, some extra nutritional yeast because we love that. How many times have I said that already? And then also for some extra freshness, I added some cucumber and some extra nutritional yeast on top, and topped with some oregano as well. This was so creamy and delicious, guys. You have to definitely try this one out. It's literally such a lifesaver sauce. You can use it with pasta or with rice or with quinoa. The possibilities are really endless. For example, the next day, instead of pasta, I did it with some quinoa, and that was so good as well. Now guys, let's start with the first sweet recipe of this video. I'm just gonna say this from the start. If there's one recipe you definitely need to try, it's this one. Why? Because it combines 2 of my favorite things, apples and breakfast oat cake. And if you don't know how to make my breakfast oat cake, head over to my Instagram where you can check one recipe out, or check my other videos because I literally have them almost every single day for breakfast. However, this recipe I did slightly different because I did use aquafaba instead of egg replacement like flax seeds or more yogurt or banana, but that just made it extra fluffy. But for this recipe, you're gonna need some oat flour, and I decided to add some raw oats for some extra texture, and then some protein powder to just add some boost of protein. Then add some yogurt to make it a bit more thick, like I like them. And then use any plant milk you have, which you should blend together with the aquafaba separately from your dry mixture, and then just slowly pour it in until desired consistency is reached. Then, because I didn't want to waste anything, I also added some of the apple insides inside the batter. That just made it extra appley. but then you're gonna fill your apple with it. I only made a hole in one apple because it was taking a long time. If you have some easier way to make a hole in the apple, use that because it's gonna take less time. But I decided to use the rest to just make some sort of muffins, which are a great snack actually. And then at the end I just topped it up with some pecans because they literally taste like popcorn once you toast them in the oven. Trust me guys, they are delicious. But guys, you're just gonna bake them in the oven at 180 degrees for around 20 minutes. And then try to take them out more elegantly than I did without burning yourself, please. Allow them to rest for around 5 to 10 minutes and then enjoy. I don't know why people have not filled their apples with breakfast oatcake batter, but it just makes it so delicious. So please try this recipe as soon as you can. The muffins also turned out very good, so I guess it's a double win. But guys, now let's go to our final recipe, which is also a sweet recipe. This is also very good as a snack. All you need is some breadcrumbs. It's so easy to make. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna hollow out your bread, and then the same mixture of aquafaba and plant milk that I used in the other recipe. I had some leftovers, so I used it for this recipe as well. But then you're just gonna add some yogurt apart from the plant milk mixture. Try to use a yogurt that's more liquidy and not thick like the Greek style yogurts. But then you're gonna also add some protein powder and then slowly add some liquid until it becomes sort of like a cookie dough, or at least so you can like shape it and hold it. Then you are gonna divide it into two as equally as possible, and then you're gonna cut your apples. Is anyone tired of me saying apples like 5,000 times? No, am I the only one? Anyways, as soon as you finish cutting your apple, you are gonna simmer them for a bit at low heat. Add some cinnamon and then add some almond butter to, give them some caramel on top kind of vibe. And if you have pumpkin spice mix, I would definitely recommend adding that instead of only cinnamon, but I don't have it, so yeah, we're just gonna have to have cinnamon here. But while the apples are cooking for a bit, you're gonna shape the dough into two flat pieces so you can fill them with your apple mixture once that's done. And then you're gonna attempt to kind of close them. I think I put a bit too much filling, but guys, cooking is just a learning process, okay? And I'll make the mistakes so you don't have to make them. And I also think my toast mixture was a bit too wet, so I added too much liquid. So make sure that it's drier than mine. But the second one actually was easier to close. I don't know why, but I did something there. The hardest thing about this recipe is just trying to close the toast mixture with the apples. But as soon as you got that, it's pretty easy actually. And it takes no longer than 15 minutes. As soon as you've made these kind of burritos, you're gonna heat the same pan that had a bit of the caramel mixture left with a bit of water, and then put your French toast burritos at medium heat and then allow them to cook both sides for about 5 minutes on each side. Then as soon as the sides are kind of cooked, you're gonna start cooking a bit of the other side, like the top, the bottom, just slowly. This you can do in low heat so you don't burn yourself, or have an adult help you. If I had one, I would use an adult, but I'm kind of alone here. But guys, this was so good. It was crunchy on the outside and sweet and tangy on the inside with the apple filling. It's very easy to make and customize with whatever fruit you have on hand. And then guys, I decided, to not only have it as a snack, but do my yogurt bowl and top it up with this French toast burrito thingy. And let me tell you guys, it's so good. The crunchy exterior of the bread toast burrito with the apples that are soft, and of course I added some more apples for extra crunch, and I decided to also add some pear on top because why not, with some extra nuts for some extra crunch and cinnamon for extra flavor. This literally made my day. You guys don't only eat it alone, Make a yogurt bowl right now. Put this on top. You will thank me later. I don't know why I've never tried this before. But yeah guys, I hope you liked the 4 recipes I brought for you today. I had a lot of fun creating them and eating them of course. But I think these 4 recipes are perfect for the fall season. They're all very easy to meal prep actually, which makes it perfect for students. And they're all vegan. So, you know, guys, I don't know what you're waiting for, but you should go make them now.
That was the 4 very delicious and easy recipes. I hope you enjoyed them. I was very proud of myself. But guys, if you like the recipes and you enjoyed these cooking videos, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up so I know you want more recipes or more cooking related videos. And leave me in the comments down below any ideas of specific recipes you want me to try for my trying kitchen things series. I would love to share some recipes with you. And also a quick reminder that soon I'll be doing a Q&A because guys, we've reached 100 subs. I can't believe it. So kind of to celebrate that, I'm gonna do a Q&A, so please comment down below any questions that you want to ask me. I'm pretty much open to answer almost everything, so make them as juicy as possible. Yeah, I just want to say thank you again. Guys, if you want to see more of me and this type of content, remember to hit the little subscribe button and the little notification bell so you get notified when I upload every week. Let's continue growing the family. 1,000 times thank you for 100 subs, and I hope you continue to follow me on this journey. But have a lovely day, evening or night whenever you're watching this, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye!